For the past few months, I've found myself thinking more and more about Girls and Panzer, has made me really want to rewatch it. I've already seen the main series twice and the main stuff bar Das Finale 4, so this time I want to include everything. During the first episode, I just had a smile on my face. It's such a weird mishmash of things, but they somehow make it work well. The first part of the episode where it shows what happened at the end of the match against St. Gloriana looks really choppy, especially when compared to the rest of the other tank scenes in the series. And even when they replay that scene in the future episode, it looks exactly the same, which is weird. Honestly, this first episode is just amazing. They did a really good job of showing off the main cast, or most of them, since we don't see Reze, and Yukari is just there staring menacingly. Also,
Tankery World Championship.
It'd be super cool to see something with that as like some spin-off in 10 years or something. Also, I don't think that comes up again in the series. Yukari finally becomes the main character this episode, and I feel kind of bad for her throughout. Like, there's many times where I've just nerded out about something I really like, and then I realise I might be annoying, so then I stop and apologise. Anyways. Man, the bridge fight is just so good. It's honestly one of my favourite scenes out of the whole series. So one thing I find really odd about this series is how the characters just jerk around quite a lot. Like, it's not bad, it's just weird to look at. Speaking of jerk, Anzio is like constantly eating jerky throughout the whole series, so that, I don't know, I've always found that weird. Also, why are they on a boat? Like, is it because of noise complaints and Senjutous only practice on these boat cities? Or is this some future where overpopulation is a problem? The mills thing on the gun site was interesting, although I don't understand it whatsoever. The sound design in this series is just amazing. Every time a tank fires, it's so abrupt and shocking, it really does feel like I'm on the... Obviously the action is well done too, especially the animation. We got to see Hannah's mum this episode, isn't that great?
Mother! What happened to you? Where did the honest and kind part of my daughter go? Is this because of tankery as well? Tanks are barbaric, inelegant, and loud. Don't you understand? All tanks should just be torn apart and turned into so much scrap metal. Scrap metal?
Oh. Well, it's nice to see Hannah stick with Senjutous and be her own person, but man, that was harsh. Also, car holder dude is the GOAT! I find it funny that Yukari's parents run a barber's, but then her and her mum's hair are both quite unkempt. Sick posters. Also, she literally went undercover to find out Saunders' plans. What? Solid snake, more like solid flu, am I right?
The men down here are definitely Marines. If the deck is sealed off, they have no way of knowing that the ship's been taken over. I'm not interested in fighting these guys.
Throughout this episode and the last one, the team were really coming together. Miho realising Saunders was tapping the radios was such a good moment, and Saori's phone skills are second only to Kiryu Morika from Steins Gate. And that play with the flare was so good. It was amazing. It was so cool. Just so many smart moves, including when they fooled Saunders in the end. Just so peak. It's such a good episode. It's funny to see Alyssa's mental state decline throughout the whole episode as well.
Why does Takashi like her? Why doesn't he realize how I feel?
And Saunders' random English added a lot of strange scenes. I don't know. I thought it was really funny.
Yes, Mom.
Then at the end, when Reze finds out her nan collapsed, that was quite the somber moment and out of left field as well. Nice that Saori's going with her though. I feel like the past few episodes, everyone's been having their moments. It's been really nice to see. Holy crap, the VA feat for Reze's nan was channeling years of yelling at her children and grandchildren into that performance. More stuff about Miho's backstory was good. Honestly, the characters have way more depth than I expected them to have, which is great. I can't wait to see Kuromori Mine get absolutely crushed later in the series.
It feels a lot like the inside of a ship.
That's because it is a ship.
Actually, why are we on a ship?
To produce highly trained individuals capable of excelling in any field. To give students the ability to achieve academic and personal success. That's why they built the school ship, supposedly.
So basically, it's overreaction to the government's lack of action on educational policy.
Hi there.
Excuse, what? Are we just gonna ignore what she just said?
Ghosts are worse than having to wake up early.
We're going to win our match with Anzio.
We're up against Anzio High next.
We won our first fight, but we can't slack off now. We're going to win our next fight as well.
Wow, this next battle must be super important if they keep mentioning it like this. Really? They just showed 10 seconds of it. Why? Honestly, it's so stupid. It's so strange. I don't know. Probably budget stuff or something. I don't know. I love the Anzio OVA. I loved it before and I still love it now. Out of all the characters, Anchovy is my favourite. Yukari went undercover again, which is hilarious.
Yukari Akiyama, returning from duty.
I just love how happy Anzio is. And the animation went so hard in it as well. Anzio's super light tanks made every battle really intense, and they turned the table so many times, it's unreal.
Too bad they lost though.
But even though they lost, they still had fun, and that's what matters in the end. They even went out of their way to treat the members of ORI to a banquet at the end, and even camped out to see the final battle. Also, yeah, the end credits scene spoils the end of the series because the OVA came out after the series ended. Also, they fell asleep while waiting and missed it.
Anchovy Pascal.
Did you hate Anchovy? I feel like I can talk more about the Anzio OVA. Like, it was really fun all throughout because of the strong characters, not only on ORI's side, but on Anzio's too. I really feel like the comedic nature of them and their friendliness is really endearing. And I won't lie, I wasn't having the greatest day then, nor am I having the greatest time right now, but rewatching this has really been picking me up. Especially the Anzio OVA, which had me grinning for nearly the whole thing. It's nice feeling like there's no stakes. Not jabbing at the rest of the series, just this OVA is pure fun. Anzio lost, but who cares? Just have fun. Pravda is finally here, but I can't lie, I don't really like them. Nothing sticks out about them other than their history. They were the ones who beat Koromori Mine last year. Like, sure, Katusha reminds me of a malted biscuit, but that's it. Can't really say I like a character like the rest. I don't hate her, she just doesn't put a smile on my face the way the other teams have. But Pravda is the first team to back ORI into such a bad corner, which was really interesting to see. Okay, so Senjutsu was reintroduced to save the school then. Cool. So we win the nationals and then the school is saved, right? Right? So, to get everyone to believe again, they did the anglerfish dance. And Yukari did reconnaissance again. Excuse me? They hid a tank under the snow. What the f-
Here you are.
But it digs into the earth really easily. And it overheats.
And catches fire.
It's known for breaking easily.
Good grief, are you sure we don't have any other tanks?
The final battle will be against Koromori Mine, Miho's family and former team. She'll finally be able to prove herself to them after they got rid of her.
It's been a while.
Previously on 24.
Former sub-commander.
I didn't think you'd still be doing tankery.
Our tradition is to value above all else strength and victory. Grandly victorious without sacrifice. You know that.
あ、もう仲間を呼んでるから。仲間？かっこいい！みんなオンラインの戦車ビジネスをニアのワニ。
Pause. Enhance. So yeah, whoever did the fan subs I was using put a World of Tanks reference in there, so I think I sat there for about 5 minutes after I saw this. Right, so the Attacker crew are finally here. Wonder how they'll do, and they're out straight away. Awesome. Also, the blonde one looks like a Leiji Matsumoto character without her glasses on. Nipponichi software!
I can feel its power. Oh, the waves of ecstasy. How magical are these insignificant creatures known as sardines!
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
Wow. It's my first time seeing one in motion.
History's largest super heavy tank.
I feel seen. Well, I'm done. Overall, it's been a really solid series. Good characters, story, animation, action, everything. It's really nice with how everything came full circle these last few episodes. Miho managed to win this time, also helping her friends, and she's proved herself to her family, and the school is saved, so happily ever after, right?
Not like this.
So the OVAs, I've never really liked them because the first episode is fan service, the second episode is half fan service.
Got a selection of good things on sale, stranger.
The third episode is interesting because we get to know more about the ship, but then kind of boring. The fourth, but the fifth episode is actually quite good. We see what Yukari was up to with Irvin during the Pravda match, which was fun to see. And episode 6 is genuinely funny. The Sentai bit, the impressions.
Oh, me! I got it! We haven't started our impressions yet.
And Yukari got drunk off orange juice. It was just dumb fun. It was great.
I will change my will and leave my land to the church. What?
Overall, they're crap though.
You ever see the movie
Und Panzer 劇場版
The Ori Girls Academy will officially shut down on August 31st and it will not reopen.
So they want to close the school again. Really? Like, I kind of get why. If ORI were to keep winning, then they'd end up going to the World Cup on behalf of Japan. Then they wouldn't really want this new team to go since they're not an established one like Koro Morimine.
Metal Gear.
It's like one of my Japanese animes.
Okay, 2 teams versus 2 teams. This is cool. Also kind of odd how it's Pravda and Saint Gloriana versus Ori and Chihatan. Kind of reminds me of something. So, new team, Chihatan, and they're they weren't the only new team though, with Continuation, which is a shit name, and their cool instrument thingy. And the University Select team, which is the team they play against to save their school. Alice, their team leader, was kind of there during the film. Now, at least the OVA does give us slightly more character, which was nice. In this, she appears at the Boca Museum, and then it's just, well, yeah, she's just there. Doesn't really have any moments to show herself outside of her tank, which was quite disappointing. The battle at the start of the film was so good, and having a lot of time to breathe afterwards was also nice. But the last battle was literally like an hour long. It was good, but after 40 minutes I was getting quite tired of it. It was still entertaining and cool how they keep getting more and more creative with everything. Plus loads of other teams helped to join Ori, which meant more anchovy. But it felt like the film could have been a bit shorter. Anyways, the school is saved. I hope. So Alice is now transferring to Ori, and the whole episode centers around everyone being incited, only for her to decide to go to a different school so she can fight Miho once again. Still, I did enjoy watching it. I do like the slice of life moments throughout the series and OVA, and this is no different. Also, the Otaku team had that training montage in their film, and now they have abs, and throughout the rest of the series they emphasize their abs whenever they're on screen, and I just think it's hilarious.
This is the end.
You know, I actually don't mind the reason for this. Giving Momo a better chance at getting into university, yeah, okay, I'm down. She's always been present, and I like her enough to remember her name, so yeah, cool. But they want a continuous tracker, so they won't be going to the World Cup for the end. Well, hopefully one day they'll do some spin-off, seeing as this is Das finale for the Ori team, maybe with someone else, and they'd go to the World Cup and face against Ori at some point. Really happy they're showing off more of the ship. It helps give it depth. Like, I always forget that they're literally on a huge ship that isn't just the top of it, and does have more to it underneath.
What a thrill.
You're pretty good.
Help me, Leon!
The first half of Das Finale Part 1 is honestly hilarious. There's just so much going on, exploring the ship that has students hanging out there, and they're all punks, and then pirates, what the hell. And the fight in the bar as well was great.
Bring that shit, Cosmo! Come on, fucker! How do you like this?
And then there's a tank at the back, and Yukari carries a stick grenade with her. What the fuck? So the new team, BC Freedom, they were interesting.
Your job is to trail behind us and cover our vastly superior rear. If you go on ahead, we'll shoot you from behind and walk over your corpses. How violent and unhinged! Such a bore and idiocy is why this should be left to us. Through entrance exams, you don't know the first thing about fighting. Oh yeah? We'll just watch while we take down the enemy flag tank. It's about to be Corpse-a-Palooza out here. I'll take you down in here. That's all, folks. A Yukari Akiyama joint.
I'm just itching. I'm itching to do it again. And you think what? You think you're gonna send me to a nut house? Some doctor, they're gonna get me to stop from doing what I want to do? Well, that ain't happening. Not on my watch.
The lengths they went to trick Ori though, that was actually crazy. And the animation was amazing, dare I say better than Der film, or at least it looks that way to me, just a bit better. Anyways, the characters' 3D models when they're outside of the tanks was really good. This is the first time I've noticed them doing anything other than moving back and forth and giving orders on the neck thingy. Also, I'm not sure if they're the same ones that are used in the game for PS4 and Switch. This being just under 50 minutes long was amazing. Not a minute was even slightly boring. Basically, I loved it. Also, it's mentioned that the other team leaders are visiting the countries their teams are based on, so maybe in Das Finale 6, Ori will do the same. Okay, so they're actually friends, right?
I'm sorry that I used to call you outsiders and dogs.
No, I'm sorry I called you spoiled and ignorant.
No, we called you abhorrent and savages and peasants, not to mention Paleolithic.
No, we called you sheltered brats and helpless and on the decline, and said that if I had a guillotine, you'd be the first.
Is this real now?
Nope, so now they're actually fighting each other, okay. Only took them losing most of their team to make up, but whatever, they can still win, right? Well, BC Freedom were an interesting team, but obviously they can't win because it's Das Finale, and it wouldn't really be Das Finale if Ori lost in the first match. Or at all. Seeing Momo's home life was nice during the slice of life part, even though it was just 2 minutes. Also, more Alice. After Der film, her mum became a sponsor of the Buckle Museum, so now the place isn't looking so bad. Now, how are the other teams doing? Being a tournament, obviously there are other teams, and it was cool to see what the other teams were up to, but only teams we knew won. They showed new teams, like the Australian one, which lost to Chihatan.
Commander, what's our battle plan today? I see. This is what the commander says. Chihatan is crazy about charging, so we'll simply wait here and let them come to us.
Right! Vice Commander Wallaby, Chihatan is approaching in single row formation.
It's just as our wise Commander Koala anticipated. All tanks ready your cannons.
Whatever team this is was against Saunders, and only the outsides of other teams, so this means there won't be any new teams for the rest of Das Finale, which is a shame. Sure, we've already seen a lot, and I'm perfectly fine with them just fighting the same teams again, but it would have been cool to see more teams. Just seems like a waste to use the same teams again for the big finale. So while at a restaurant in Ori, Haru realised that there were different ways of charging, such as stepping charge, goodbye charge, one day charge, and many others. Although there's one dickhead who thinks these may not be charges. But then if it is a charge, then why is charge in the name? And it's fucking dickhead. A decent amount of this fight felt quite uneventful. Taking place in the forest meant that there were a lot of places that you could hide, and that they did for a while. Plus it started raining, so mud, hooray. I don't think this part is the greatest, but it is still good. Weird we didn't get a special episode for Das Finale 1, but we move. This episode is BC Freedom's point of view as Yukari is infiltrating them, which is quite funny. All of them getting ready to act as if they hate each other, although they kind of do, but man, all these sweeping shots are so cool.
As of now, it's already been more than 12 hours since the match with them started.
Excuse me, what? They go on for that long? I never would have thought that. Obviously the battle against Pravda was for a while, but 12 hours? Miho's 1v5 at the end of the Chihatan battle was really cool, but she did lose it until...
Hey, fuck you, bitch! And the clique that you came with, I ain't for the bullshit. I just need my payment. Hey.
To partake in, we won't be collecting much data from this.
I dare say that this soon will be settled, and before a second cup of tea.
We can't afford to lose against the school with the world's most disgusting food!
You know what, fuck you. I was lying before when I said Anchovy was my favourite character. I've hated it all along. I've always hated it. Fuck you. Fuck you. Anyways, it was nice having more time dedicated to the other teams. Ori are now up against Continuation, shit name by the way. And everything is Christmassy and snow and cold, what? Oh my god. Not a lot to say about the third part, so just go to part 4. I need to know what happens. Before I get to Das Finale Part 4, I must talk about the Das Finale Part 3 OVA Special Daikon War. It doesn't carry on from anything, but it is great. The Anglerfish team need to give forms to someone or something, it doesn't really matter. What does matter is that they went Back to the Future 3.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Now that Miho is out, the real commander can take center stage. Momo. Sour. Up until the tunnel scene, I wasn't really expecting much out of this part. Okay, being honest, I was bored. Up until the chase of a lifetime. When they're all falling down the mountain, I could not take my eyes off the screen. What a battle. Then the Otaku team shows their strength after keeping it a secret the whole time. Then Slice of Life, only for like 2 minutes. More fighting. Koro Morihime versus Saint Gloriana. Who will win and face off against Ori in the final match? Oh hey, wait, no. This has to be the best special so far. All of the commanders all in one room talking about Senshido. It was really entertaining seeing all of them, especially since some of them only had quick appearances and some were completely new. This makes me think, or hope, that there will be more after Das finale. I know part 6 is far away, but I still want more. And not just Ori, like they went out of their way to make new character designs and teams for them to appear like once and not even for long. It just seems like a waste to me, especially when as far as I know the series is still quite popular, so I don't see why they would stop making stuff. Also, 550, that shop has a very odd name anyways. Now that I'm done with all the main stuff, I'm really looking forward to Das Finale Part 5, whenever that may be, since as of scripting there's no trailer or any promo. Even then I'd have to wait until it's out on digital and then for it to get subbed to actually watch it. But hopefully when Das Finale 6 is about to be released, I'll be in Japan and I'll be watching it on release day in 4DX like they've done for the other part. I've really enjoyed going through all of this. I already liked it, but for months now I just keep thinking about the series and it's made me really want to rewatch it. Mind you, I had watched everything months before Das Finale 4 was out, and then it taken a bit to get subbed, so that was nagging at me for a while, and it also gave me a great reason to rewatch everything. And I say everything including the bonus stuff too. By that I mean the Yukari Akiyama tank specials, which were very interesting, and I really liked when they shown the live action footage too. And having Yukari be the one who taught me all these things about tanks just made it a million times better. There was even an episode from the Anzio OVA in which Anchovy features in it and says stuff, I guess. Now, everything with an asterisk. There were some specials that I couldn't get subbed, so it'd be quite boring just to watch them and understand nothing. And I didn't really see much of a point watching the recap since I blasted through the series in 2 weeks, so it would just add more time to everything and it'd be boring. I did watch the Nihon Renmei news thing though. It's 2 3-minute short episodes about the battle against Koro Morihime from the TV series. They didn't have subs, but I watched it anyway. Now, according to my anime list, I've watched nearly all Und Panzer anime, but there's one big important thing missing from this list. Not many people know that the 2014 World War II film featuring Brad Pitt, Fury, is the live-action adaptation of the series. Okay, it's not, but I included it because I wanted to watch it for ages, and it does have some similar shots, you know, like maybe it's not so much of a stretch to say that it's been somewhat influenced by it, you know? There's so many tense scenes in this film. What's meant to be a nice scene where the main characters rest in a German family's home was incredibly tense. I had no idea what they were about to do, either of them, the family and Brad and Norman. Then the rest of the crew come in and just ruin everything. But that scene really shown how close the crew were, and the newbie Norman was kind of getting in the way of that. He doesn't really have these brutal shared memories with the rest of the crew until he does. And by the end of the film, he was really a part of the crew.
Norm, I'm sorry. You know, I think you're a good man.
And those last 40 minutes, with everyone together fighting off the Nazis, was heart-pounding. Every second of it. The music got in the way of the harrowing scenes where they just show a character's face looking like they just found out it's not party rockers, it's party rock is. My issue with these is that the music was telling me to feel sad. When I see these scenes, I don't really feel sad. I'm more with the characters in the way that I feel like I've just seen something harrowing, that mixture of anxiety and fear, and just a bit of sadness. And that's the kind of vibe I was getting from the music. Fury was obviously great. I have some issues with it, but it's just nitpicks. So yeah, this one scene looked very like the Koro Morihime battle. Plus the characters literally say Panzer 4.
Wow!
That is not edited, I assure you. Also, the main characters are very obviously rip-offs of the main team.